Hello and welcome to the Wise Dreamer podcast. I'm Dawn Oree, your host, and I'm here to talk to you today about some things that I was thinking about with the whole thing that's happening with the world. So today we're going to be talking about finances and building a financial hedge. When I was thinking about building a financial hedge, I thought about what ways would work for me to build a financial hedge. I've been looking at doing a financial hedge for a long time, and I've built up some ideas of things that'll work for everyone else. So I wanted to share those with you. The first thing when I thought about building a financial hedge was redo your budget. Look at all the things that are in your life that are completely not essential. You know how they have non-essential workers staying home right now? Have the non-essential money stop working in a way that's detrimental to your longevity. If you don't need cable and you can do Netflix, and Netflix is cheaper monthly, change to Netflix. Or even compare the one thing to the other to be able to pit them against each other and say, hey, this person's going to give me this much, give it to me for this much. What can you do for me? Negotiate, but also look at the ways that you can cut out things in your budget that are not necessary. Right now, I'm only shopping for the things that are necessary. No overspending, no going out to dinner. Well, I've stopped going out to dinner as much, I'll be honest, because I still do go out to dinner, but not out to dinner. I have takeout. And since I don't really want a whole lot of people coming to the house, if I'm not willing to go and get it, which a lot of times I'm not willing to go and get it right now, just because of the, everything that's happening, I'm more inclined to buy food that I have to cook, and I have a lock on my grocery bill by having a food delivery service that is straight from the farm delivered to my door, and I can control how much money I spend on the box that comes in as opposed to the rising prices in the grocery store. So consider that as well. That might be an option for you in your area. Also, things in your budget that you can eliminate would be talk to your credit card companies. See if you can, in this time, get some relief from paying your credit card bill. Or maybe they'll lower the interest rate, or maybe they'll be able to put some payments on the back end with no interest added to that back end payment. Or maybe they'll forgive a payment or two just so that you can get through this time. Talk to any unnecessary bill that you have. What other things in your budget can you eliminate? Can you eliminate the kinds of ways that you are spending money in terms of your insurances, in terms of your utility bills? Right now, a lot of people are not paying rent because their rent they have a moratorium on evictions. So people are kind of juggling with their rent money to pay other things or to make sure that they can survive. I personally would pay my rent because I want to be able to make sure that my home is secure. But here's the thing, if you talk to your landlord and explain to them that you are really, if you don't have money coming in, if things are really not working out very well for you in terms of being able to find a replacement job for your income, or you're waiting on unemployment to show up for you, maybe you can talk to your landlord and they'll forgive this month's rent. There are lots of things that you can do to kind of help with your budget, so you could tighten those things as well. The next point is to get your credit report and know what you need to know about your credit. In this time with everything shifting, the most important thing that we're going to have when it's all over is the ability to still purchase, whatever that looks like. And part of that is going to be your personal credit history. This is the perfect time of the year. You get your 3 credit reports free from all the bureaus. You can absolutely reach out to them, get a free credit report, and then you'll know what's on your credit report. Once you know what's on your credit report, you'll be able to have the idea of what you need to do or plan to do when this is all over. And you can actually shift your credit rating by looking at those things, and if you can work on those things without blowing your budget, without going beyond the things that you've already been doing, then that's a possibility for you. The other thing that you can do is create a service using your skills. And in doing so, you'll be able to bring in extra income. And there are people that are of the school of thought that you need 7 streams of income anyway. And those 7 streams, one of them is a job, and the other one would be your own business of some sort, a side hustle of some sort. So this is the perfect time right now to create the side hustle. The other few are passive income from real estate, passive income from investments that are non-real estate related, from your 401k if you have a 401k, and also from stock dividends if you have bought stock before. So those are just a few of the other ones that you can use to create passive income. And the other one is intellectual property. So if you have the book idea that you want to write your book now. Get it out there so that you can actually start. You might not start getting the money for it right away. You might only make a few sales. And depending on what you price the book at, you could, possibly do very well. 1 million people buying your book for $1 is $1 million. Say that. So those are the things that I was thinking about in terms of ways that you can help to make sure that you build a financial hedge. Consider your legacy is another thing that you can do. It's really important when you're thinking about building your financial hedge that you're not just building a temporary hedge, but that you're building a permanent financial hedge. So you're looking at all the things and all the people that you need to put in place so that you'll have what you need to have in order to be able to be successful in the long run and to be able to leave a legacy for your children and your grandchildren and their children. And that can happen through life insurance policies, that can happen through investments, that can happen through a myriad of ways, through businesses that you start right now, through intellectual property that you have right now, and other ways. Those 7 streams of income really can bring you longevity, and it really can bring your children and their children longevity as well in terms of finances. Think about Bill Gates and his kids and their kids' kids. They're set. Think about Henry Ford. All of the things that are Henry Ford now came from him being in the garage trying to build a car when cars didn't exist in America. So think about it in terms of that. What can you do that will create a business or a legacy like that? In terms of books, if you are a prolific writer, write your book. If you don't want to write a book, but you still want to express yourself, start a blog. That will be awesome for you as well. And that actually, people do make money doing blogs. You can also become a contributor to a magazine or an online news source. So all of those things are opportunities that are available to you in terms of considering your legacy and how you can create things that will be able to be good for you. Now, setting up your legacy is a whole different thing. Let's talk about your financial team, because in order to properly set up your hedge, you will need a financial team. What does that financial team look like? It looks like a banker that you can trust, that you can go and sit down and talk with. Not just being at a bank that you have your money in, but a banker that you have relationship with. So you can have a personal banker, or you can have a banker who does specifically for business, but you'll still need to have a personal relationship with that person as well. If you're looking at buying real estate in any capacity, you'll need a mortgage person. You'll also need a realtor. So you'll need a real estate agent, you'll need a mortgage broker, and they can be in some states one and the same. So you can have that. You also will need an accountant. If you are a person with high net worth, you need an accountant. If you're not high net worth, you still need an accountant. At least you need an accountant to look over your books once every 2 or 3 years, just to make sure that all of your stuff that you've done in the past is in order. Now, having an accountant does not mean if you have a business that they'll be able to take over your business, because they may not be able to. So I suggest that you get a business focused accountant and you get a personal focused accountant, because having a business accountant and a personal accountant will absolutely make the difference in what your outcomes will be later on if you're setting up the hedge. The next person that you'll need to have is a financial investment advisor. Now, this person will know all things investments in terms of stocks, in terms of hedge funds, in terms of high yield places where you can put your money, in terms of places that will grow over time. And they'll be the ones that help you learn to study the prospectus so you'll understand where your money needs to go for growth and development. So you need one of those people. You need a real estate investment advisor if you're thinking about getting into real estate as an investor. You need somebody who's been there before, who understands what to do and what not to do in a real estate transaction in terms of investment, and how to get your best ROI, return on investment, when you are looking for your investment property. As a side note, when you're looking for a real estate agent, you want a real estate agent if you are an investor who understands investors, because not all real estate agents understand investors. So they don't understand how to find the property to help you get the ROI that you desire on the back end as a real estate investor. Consider that when you're looking. The other things that you can do is you can get education from different places where real estate investors hang out. So you can go to places like biggerpockets.com. You can go to connectedinvestors.com. You can go to different areas that will help you to be able to get your information online. But then there are also investment groups that meet online right now because they can't meet in person. So if you get on meetup.com, you'll be able to find investor groups in your area. Some of them will specialize in apartment buildings. Some of them will specialize in vacation rentals. Some of them will specialize in medical. Some of them will specialize in senior living. Some of them will specialize in residential houses and 1 to 4 units. All depends on what you're looking for in terms of getting into that. And you can find the advisors and the people to do the networking with if you just search online. You will need a commodity investment advisor. What are commodities? Commodities are anything from rice and grain and wheat to oil and gas. So if you're interested in doing that, once you get to that place of investment, you can absolutely search for a person who can help you with that level of investing. To be honest, the only people that I've ever known to be in that kind of investments are those people that have been investing for a while and have built up quite a bit of liquid money so that they can move into that. So that's a kind of a graduated thing as far as I know. I could be wrong. There could be people who are starting in investing in oil and gas and diamonds and those things without millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars, but I don't know any. So that's what I would say on that. You will need an estate planner. And what this estate planner will do is they will help you plan out your now and your afterlife money. And even though you won't be the one that is dealing with the money once you're gone, but it helps to plan out things so that your family is taken care of. That would be a will, and that would also be a trust. The other directives that you need to have in order, your medical power of attorney, so that if somebody needs to speak for you because you can't speak yourself at the end of your life, you want to have that set up. You want to have your accidental death and dismemberment policies in place as well. That's a whole different insurance. But if you get an estate planner and they do insurance, or if they don't do insurance, you'll need an insurance agent because they'll know what to do with that. I have a question for you in terms of your estate. Did you know that when you die without a will and without a trust, if you own a home and your home goes to probate, your family automatically owes the state $18,000 just because you passed away without a will and without a trust. Before your family gets anything, that money comes off the top. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to have money going to the state that they don't need to have, that my family will need to survive when I'm gone. And even if I'm a millionaire or I'm a billionaire by the time I leave, I don't want the state to get one dime more than they're supposed to have. I don't want to pay a tax because I died. And that's what the probate fee is, basically. It's different than just a lawyer fee. It is a literal tax that they assess because you don't have your affairs in order. So that's why I say it's very important that you get your affairs in order. The other person that I would say you need a person that can literally walk you through the best insurance vehicles for you. If you're just starting out and you don't have a whole lot of money and you don't have a whole lot of assets and you just want to protect your life, there are different kinds of life insurance policies that a insurance person can walk you through, and they will help you pick the best one for you if they're a good insurance agent. I'll say that again. If they're a good insurance agent, they will help you pick the best one for you. Not the best one for their pocket, but the best one for you. And the reason why they'll do that is because they know that what you need and what you can afford need to match. I cannot tell you how many times I have been approached by insurance people that want to sell policies to me that are clearly out of my price range. Clearly. And when I was younger and I had no money, I had no money, I had a little boy, and I didn't understand what I was supposed to do. And I trusted the insurance person to walk me through. And I ended up with a $200 and something policy a month that I couldn't afford to keep up. And rather than him looking at me and saying, you know what, you have a little boy, we're going to just set you up so that in case anything happens to you, your son will be taken care of. You know, all the things that insurance policies can do are wonderful if you are at that stage financially where you can afford it. But if you're not, there is absolutely no shame in getting a policy that will cover you and take care of your family when you leave here. Look at, when you talk to an insurance agent, look at the way that they respond to you about what your financial needs are right now and decide from there. And with all of these people, with your banker, with your mortgage person, with your real estate person, with your accountant, with your financial advisor, with your real estate investment people, with your commodities investor, with your estate planner, if they're not thinking about what's best for you and they're thinking about what's best for them, and you can tell they're thinking about that by the way they talk to you and try and sell you versus talk to you and try and help you. There is a difference. You can tell that by literally having the full conversation with them and saying to them, this is what I can afford. And them coming back to you with, okay, this is what you can afford, and that's what this can do for you. And letting you decide based on, okay, this is what you can afford. This is what I recommend. I recommend this is a step up, and this is a step up, and this is a step up. I tell you what, when I found the person who did that for me, I was hooked. She is my forever financial advisor. She is my forever advisor on my insurance policies, because she looked at me and sat down with me when I said to her, I have no money. I don't have any money. I am starting over and I have nothing. And she looked at me and said, I don't care about that. I know you. And I know you well enough to know that you're getting ready to write books. You're getting ready to do programs. You're getting ready to do this. You're getting ready to do that. Let's set you up for right now, because right now is what you need. We'll talk about later. And she literally sat down with me and we went through all of my finances that I had and didn't have. And then she said, oh wow, you need to get more money. And I said, yes, I do. I know that. I told you that. And she said, no worries. Let's talk about how you're going to get some more money. And we sat down and went through all of those things. And then she said, okay, you know what? I'm going to send you a quote based on what you have right now. And we'll see. And when you can do that, let me know and we'll do that. And that's what happened. And it just ebbs and flows depending on what's going on with me. And she's perfectly okay with that, because in her mind, the best thing that can happen is that I'm covered and that my family is covered. Because she knows if she's like that, then I'm not going anywhere. And that's the kind of person that you need over your financial lifestyle. Because your banker, they're going to always do what's best for you and the bank if they're a good banker. If they're a good banker, they'll call you and say, hey, we got this plan that might work out for you. I was thinking about you. This might be good for you. They'll do that for you. If they're a good mortgage officer, they'll say, let me find you the best rate possible for you, so you won't be paying a whole lot of money in the long run because this rate is high and ridiculous. Or you know what, maybe it's not time for you to get a mortgage right now. Or you know what, I can only do this amount on it, and this is what you'll need to bring to the table, and let me see if there are other programs that'll help you out with that. You know, a good mortgage person will do that. A good real estate agent, and how do I know? Because this is what I do with my clients. If it's not time for them to buy a house, I tell them, no, it's not time yet. How about we relax on that? But if it's time, I'm like, let's get it. Because right now is the time to get what you're going to get. Because in this changing market in California, we don't have a whole lot of opportunities. Because it's not a whole lot of inventory. If you love this house, let's get this house. That's how we do it. Because you know what? When they're ready to buy their investment home, guess who they're going to call? Because guess why? Because I work with investors as well. So they'll be able to say, Dawn, what about this? And can you do this? And can you do that? And how much money can I get on the back end on this? And I can calculate all that stuff for them so that they'll have a better understanding of what the rents could be if they decide that they're going to rent it, what it could be if it's going to be a flip, what they should offer or shouldn't offer, what would be great for them, and all of those things. I have all of that available for them because I know how to crunch the numbers as a real estate agent for potential investment properties. So I'm able to give that to them. If you're trying to do real estate, and I've had to go through that as well with my first time buyers, I would say, you know, if you're looking for somebody to be your advisor, make sure that they are in it for you and not for them. And so again, with your estate planner and all the people that are working for you, if you need someone to really and truly help you with this, take time, put this list together that I gave you. Work on making sure that you look at all the things that will help you have the financial team that will work for you. The financial team should be able to work for you right now and in the long run. And you can interview all these people, especially now since we're on shutdown. You can interview all these people and literally have yourself ready to move. You know, once you know your credit score, once you know what you're eligible to purchase, what you're eligible to buy, what if you can get business credit, all that stuff matters. And once you've set up your financial team, dream big, be wise, plan it out, and get it done.